Welcome back to the Flaming Goblin. This is episode 2 of the Forest of Doom campaign. Before we continue, I want to give a special thanks to Erebus Music, who can be found on various social media as Erebus_music, for providing intro and outro and some ambient backing music for the Flaming Goblin podcasts. He's also more than happy to help out if you're looking for original background or ambient music for your own podcasts or games, etc. Please look him up. Also, just want to take a moment to thank the team at Pocket Bard for their awesome app. You can find it at www.pocketbard.app. It's an easy to use, versatile app that can be used to enhance your gaming experience. We've had fun using it to support our adventures. Definitely worth a look and a listen. As before, I'll say if you're running this adventure, that's the Forest of Doom adventure, then there are some spoilers here. If you listen to the last episode, Forest of Doom Into the Woods, the three adventurers, Enzio, Peregrine and Ash, entered the woods after meeting with some nasty giant spiders, the mighty mage Nostromo, and also a strange crow, before finally coming to blows with a small camp of orcs who were, I believe, arguing about what they were going to have for dinner. This left the party heading further north into the woods, and this is where we find them now, crunching their way along the leaf-littered paths of the Darkwood Forest. The adventurers' first discovery this time happened to be a cave a few metres from the track. Peregrine, being switched on, checked using her trap knowledge and awareness skills, only unfortunately to fail both checks, which, to be fair, did set the trend for the session, with unlucky high rolls on skill checks and equally unlucky low rolls for combat. Peregrine, having tried to have a look around, the three trampled their way, with Enzio failing his stealth check, quite noisily towards the entrance of the cave, and with the cracking of twigs and branches and roots and catching of thorns on clothing and that kind of thing, they were soon welcomed by the sight of a very much alert ogre, who stood tall in the entrance of his cave. He immediately dispatched his two guard wolf dogs to attack. Enzio was thinking fast though and blew hard on his whistle, the wooden whistle that he'd taken from one of the orcs from the last episode. He rolled better this time and was able to distract the wolf dogs. However, they now charged at Enzio and Peregrine. We did feel that use of the whistle though should really give Enzio the down boy achievement, which gained him some experience points. Peregrine then drew back her bow and narrowly missed the creature, unfortunately, which was about to attack her. Ash, seeing a chance, moved around the guard dogs, and headed straight towards the giant ogre, Eddie the Ogre, only to have a wooden stool flying past his head, thrown by the laughing ogre, almost knocking him to the floor. Enzio stood firm though, with his rapier, to face Rover, the first of the wolf dogs, only to fumble his defence and end up in the muddy leaves with a massive dog on top of him, clawing at him. A second shot from Peregrine, at Snuffles, the second wolf dog, clipped its side as she rushed in to go stabby with her dagger, which she loves doing. Ash, now closing on the ogre, pulled out his twin blades and managed to parry the ogre as it swung its mighty notched club down towards him, the sounds of the battle ringing around the cavern. After Peregrine had dispatched with Snuffles, she turned on Rover and helped Enzio before launching a force bolt at Eddie the Ogre. A failed roll meant that the force bolt shot past Eddie and lit up the cavern with an enormous lightning flash. I mentioned before about the Pocket Bard app, and that came in very handy here, transitioning between the forest ambient sounds and the cave sounds, added to the combat variations for the setting. We discussed afterwards that this scene would have benefited from having miniatures and the use of battle maps or tiles to show positioning, but we carried on. After the eventual fall of Eddie the Ogre, the three made their way further into the cave, discovering a small cage with Neagle the Goblin in, and a small silver chest on a shelf. After noticing Neagle squealing in his cage, the adventurers proceeded to tend to their own wounds and ignore him for a while. Peregrine checked for traps around the cave and the silver box, but found nothing. However, when Ash opened the box, a stinking, nasty yellow cloud issued from the box, making both Ash and Peregrine gag and choke before gathering themselves. This only added to the stench of the cave from the ogre and the goblin. Enzio, meanwhile, looked at how best to get to the goblin, as he had noticed that Neagle had a black rod hung around its neck. With the help of a wounded Ash holding the struggling Gobbo, and Enzio using his lockpicking skill, he was able to grab the necklace that turned out to be part of the dwarven hammer that they were searching for. This came with the additional of a bonus luck increase for each of the characters. After Peregrine dispatched with Neagle, the party spent the night in the safety of the cave. Those of you looking to play this adventure, there's a selection of options for the location of both parts of the hammer, so don't worry. I've not totally given the game away. The next morning they continued north and soon came across another goblin, very similar to Neagle in the way that he looked, sitting on a log at the side of the track. Again, this goblin had a black rod hung around its neck, very much like the one that Enzio had got. Enzio approached the goblin, only to have it twist and mutate into this venomous, upright, lizard-like creature with claws and sharp teeth. The shape changer leapt at Enzio, who was quick to defend, but before the party could kill off the beast, it shrank to the size of a mouse and disappeared off through the woods. Travelling north further, Ash spotted a treehouse off the track, and Peregrine, using her wood lore and animal lore, spotted and identified what looked like ape fur scraps caught on the ladder leading up to the treehouse. Enzio tried to climb the ladder, but unfortunately another failed dice roll meant that he didn't quite get up. Ash gave it a go instead, and having climbed to the top of the ladder to the platform, he was met with two angry ape people. Ash fell off of the platform 5 metres to the soft forest floor, and at the shouts and screams of the apes, the team scarpered back to the path and carried on along the path, until they reached the outskirts of the southern part of the Darkwood Forest, the light shining down upon them as they broke out into the vast grasslands that separate the north and south of the Darkwood Forest. The sun shining down upon them, they decided to head west towards a rickety bridge, and that is where we left them for now. This week we return to Curse of Strahd, set in the Dungeons and Dragons Ravenloft setting in the realm of Barovia. Also, keep an eye out for the first of our Tales from the Flaming Goblin episodes, which is an interview with one of our original characters in the Flaming Goblin Inn, Port Blacksand. Massive thanks for taking the time to listen, and please feel free to like and comment, etc. Here, you can also DM me via the Flaming Goblin page on the Instagram, which is _Flaming Goblin. With any ideas that you might have either for this podcast or anything you want to perhaps throw at the adventurers in the future. Anyway, thank you for listening, and bye for now.